Hello Pisces, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of February 5th through 11th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond just what I'm saying, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that, we've got the Emperor energy. All right, let's see what's going on with that. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. And I'm going to go a little bit slower today, trying to get everything aligned properly for that overhead camera. I hope it's working out for everybody. I hope you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun for me to get to show you what we're doing here. We're going to do the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to leave that right there, and we're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading. And hopefully that will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the end. Okay, so we've got some interesting energies here, right? I'm seeing some major arcana. We've got some fire, we've got some air, we've got some water, we've got some earth. So pretty balanced over here on the path of the Dove. Path of the Serpent, though, we've got water, we've got earth, we've got air, we've got fire. So it's balanced over here too, although there's no major arcana over here. So I think this is really going to be the situation and some of the factors involved, and this is going to be your plan of action for the future. Okay, let's take a look. We've got the Emperor to start us out. Pisces, I know you're a water sign, but I think you have a real fiery energy about you. I think you're someone who really enjoys leadership roles. I think you're someone who kind of likes to be in charge of things. You like to kind of, you like to get your way. You know, you like to be the one to kind of lead the group. I feel like you're either the head of your department, or you're like the head of your family, or you're like the leader of your group of friends or something. You know what I mean? I feel like you're kind of at the top and everybody kind of looks to you for guidance. They look to you for decision making. They look to you just to see kind of how you're reacting to something, and then they kind of will, you know, they'll learn maybe how they should react to. Does that make sense? So I feel like you're really looked up to. I think people really respect you. And they respect your leadership. They respect your wisdom, your authority, your knowledge, your experience. You know, I don't think you're just someone who is like, you're not just like the alpha dog who's trying to run things. And, you know, I think you have a real kind of quiet authority about you, you know. And the Emperor card kind of looks that way, right? That's the impression that we sort of get. But there's a lot of fiery energy here. This is someone that can really take charge and get things done when they need to. Otherwise, they just kind of hang back. They have this confidence, but it's not arrogance, right? You've got this authority, but it's not like dominating or aggressive. It's like a servant leadership kind of, you know. You're there when people need you. I think that you love to be of service to other people. You know, when your friends, your family, your coworkers, when people need you, I feel like you're there for them. I feel like that's a major quality in your life right now. Maybe that you haven't always been this way. Maybe you've kind of had to fight to get to this point in your life, this point of confidence and self-assurance and that sort of thing. You know, it might not be something that you've always had. It feels to me like something that you've had to work for. Okay. And speaking of that, let's go to the recent past before we get too involved here. I said that your kind of confidence, your authority, your leadership is something that you had to work for. I think in your past, maybe as a child or as a young adult, you went through a serious illness. It could be, maybe it was a chronic illness. You know, I don't feel like it was something that just kind of happened a couple days and then you're back on your feet. I feel like it was a longer illness or a chronic illness that maybe it kind of weakened you a little bit, you know, maybe put you out of commission. Maybe you couldn't really engage in the activities that you wanted to at the time for this period. I don't know if it was, you know, if it was a week, a month, a year. Maybe it's something that's still kind of going on. But I feel like it was very much it was a focal point of your younger years, maybe childhood, maybe young adulthood, where you had this period of time that you were just not able physically, really, to engage in the activities that you wanted to, right? There's this kind of this weakness, and I think it affected you emotionally. I think that it kind of discouraged you. It lowered your self-esteem a little bit. It made you kind of feel like the world was just a really tough place, and you didn't have the vitality at the time to handle it, right? And that's just, I think that's the kind of confidence, the self-esteem stuff that a lot of people go through in childhood and in younger years. But I think you had this kind of chronic illness, or this serious illness, that added to that. You know, that kind of had this feeling that, that you didn't quite have the strength or the vitality to make the most of this world. Okay? And I'm very sorry about that. It's not something that I would wish on anyone. Having had a difficult childhood and some health issues myself, I kind of know how that can make us feel, especially as a younger person, So I think that it's still something that is a factor in your life, but I think you're using this now as a means for greater power and strength. It could be that you really do hang on to this experience. It was a very meaningful time in your life, a very important period of time. And I think you're using it as fuel to really build up this vitality, this power, this authority, this confidence that you have now. So it could be that, without this experience in your childhood or young adulthood, without that, I don't think you would be this today. Does that make sense? I think that you have this really great power and leadership and authority, but it's a person who has been down before, has been, sick or injured, has been kind of down in the mud for some period of time. So you understand it, and you're using it as power. But it doesn't create like an aggression or an arrogance in you, because you've been on the other side of that, so so you have this compassion about you as well, I think that's a great quality. What's going on this week with this Six of Cups? This is crossing your path this week. I think this is a real kind of, sorry about the squeaky chair. This feels to me like a really easygoing event. It feels like you're going to be engaged in something. It almost feels like a celebration or a party. I don't know if there's a birthday coming up. I know your birthday's coming up pretty soon. So I wonder if this isn't some kind of a celebratory thing. It could be a work party. It could be a birthday party. Some other kind of celebration. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of people around you kind of celebrating you, And I feel like it's going to be a really good time. So there really isn't much of a challenge so far. We're only a couple cards into this. I don't know, maybe this is going on at work, but I feel like there's a group of people around you that really are kind of all about you. People are really celebrating you right now. And it may not have to do with your birthday or something like that. It feels more like an achievement. And we've achieved another, trip around the sun, so we're kind of celebrating our yearly achievement of being alive. So you can look at it that way. But I feel like this is either at work or at home or in your personal life maybe, where you've made some achievement. You've used your power, authority, your wisdom and skill and confidence to achieve something, some kind of a breakthrough. Maybe you've had a great success at work, or you've completed some project, or you've made some success for yourself through your own business, your kind of side projects, or your home business, or in your personal life. Maybe you've made some real achievement, something that you've been working on. And it could be health related too. Maybe a business related to health or something. But it could be that you've hit a milestone for yourself in terms of your success, your personal growth, spiritual growth, physical growth, health, wellness, vitality, something like that. Okay. I don't know that it has a direct financial component to it, though. Okay. But let's look at another card here. Before we go to the immediate future, let's do a little bit more of the vertical axis of the path of the dove here. Down beneath everything, we've got a Two of Swords. I think part of your success right now, like why you're able to celebrate, why people are now celebrating you this week, is because you don't hesitate to make decisions. I think that you are a person who sees a situation, judges it, makes a decision. There's no hesitation. There's no, which way, what do I do? No, you're direct, you're to the point. You can see something, you can assess it quickly, and you can react. And I think that's working for you. I think that you have a very swiftness about your thought process, right? Your perception seems very, very honed into the moment. Like I feel that you have tremendous powers of concentration. Now we're going to look at the top card here, because this is the Magician, Mercury, the Magus, the Juggler, the Trickster. But these two cards together really show a mind that is so keen and so perceptive, that has intense powers of concentration, that it feels to me like you've been so focused on something in your life that now you've achieved it. It's almost just like, to the outside looking in, from the people around you, right? These 6 cups, it seems like things just come so easy to you. And maybe people are a little bit jealous of that, you know? It seems like maybe you just started this thing and boom, you've made it, right? But what they don't know, or what they can't perceive because it's more internal, is this hyper focus that you have, this ability to really concentrate all of your power on something. There's no hesitation, there's no second guessing, there's no internal debate. It's just you decide, you do it, you're all in, force and fire, and you achieve it. So it's almost like, yeah, from the outside looking in, it seems like things come so easy to you. But really, it's like you've crammed in like a year's worth of effort into just a couple of months, right? So there's a real intensity. It was really intense, hard work, but you make it look easy, right? And that's like a mental thing mostly. You know, that's like this spiritual / mental, because you have this intense ability to focus your thoughts, focus your mind. You're not easily distracted by things. I think you really hone in on what you want, what you're trying to achieve, your goals, your aspirations, and you do it. You do it. And so maybe now part of the week here is to allow this celebration to take place. Celebrate yourself. You know, you've put in all of this effort. Like I said, you've crammed in a year's worth of effort into just a few months. Enjoy it. Allow yourself to enjoy it, you know. What's coming in the immediate future is this change. I think whatever you've created now is really going to have a snowball effect. It's going to be like a cascade to the rest of your life. So I don't know if this was something major in terms of your work that's now going to have a ripple effect throughout your life, your finances, your home, and all that stuff. But I feel like there is major change coming. I think really after this kind of celebration, right, in the next weeks and months, you're going to have to do a lot of new things. Right? So it could be that you've leveled up in your career and now you really have to think about other things. Maybe you're in a new tax bracket. Maybe you have just different responsibilities at work. Maybe I don't know. Maybe now you're gonna move, or you have to change your possessions. Right? You have to get a different car, change your clothes. I don't know. But there's going to be a lot of new things that you have to kind of do now. You know what I mean? Like it feels like you've changed your life. And it could be something personal, spiritual attainments. It could be something related to your health or wellness. Could be your home business. Could be your, I don't know, all sorts of things, right? But after this celebration, this is like popping the bottles. You're enjoying it. You're celebrating your achievements, okay? But then there's a lot of work to do in the future. Then you really have to, like after this night is over, you got to wake up the next morning, hit the ground running. A lot of things need to be changed or switched over. Getting this feeling like you have to just kind of, you have to switch things now. I don't know what that's about. But the Two of Pentacles here is telling me that what was off, now you have to turn it on. And what was maybe on over here, you got to turn that off. So it's a lot of switches everywhere. I don't know what that means exactly. But I feel like there's a lot of changes. You have to you have to alternate how you've been doing things or something like that, you know? And I'm interested where this achievement is taking place. If it's in your career or something, let me know. Let me know if it's personal, if it's spiritual, if it's something in the home, in the family, or if it's something related to health or vitality. I'm interested in the feedback of where this is taking place. Because there's some indication that it's health or vitality or wellness related, but I don't know if that is where you have your business. If you're in a health or wellness related career, perhaps. Okay, let's move over to the path of the serpent now. I have a impulse always to move these cards over, but I'm trying to keep them here so you can still see them. Your general energy here is the Five of Cups. This is you, I think, typically not taking credit for your achievements. I think that you're someone who doesn't want to be recognized for things. You have this, not stoicism, but you've got like this resistance to letting loose and celebrating and having the attention be on you, right? You have this kind of almost stern leadership, quiet confidence kind of vibe. And this card is saying, look, you got to you got to let loose. You got to allow yourself to celebrate and enjoy it and be proud of yourself, really, I think is the message here. I feel like you're someone who typically tries to resist that. You try to stay humble, you try to stay composed and focused and mature and reserved and a little bit stoic, yeah. But at times you gotta just let loose. You gotta allow yourself the time, just one night. Be proud of yourself. Celebrate yourself. Let those good feelings in. Allow them to do their magic and move around. This card, people see the Five of Cups, they think, oh, it's disappointing, it's sadness, it's being upset. No, this is the Five of Cups is about movement. It's about whatever is standing still now is going to be changing. Okay? There's something coming in to move this energy around. So this achievement that you have, this whatever accomplishment this is that's going on, allow it to stir up your emotions. You know, allow yourself to feel is the key there. And allow yourself to feel the good things, the joy, the pleasure, the satisfaction, the pride, you know? Because I think you're someone that generally rejects that as being, well, you know, that's not, I'm trying to maintain my composure here and be an example and a leader and stuff, and so you don't want to like let loose and you know, whatever. But I think you have the ability to let those emotions in, allow yourself to feel that pride and that satisfaction, you know, because I think you've earned it. It feels like you've earned it. In your environment, we see a Three of Pentacles. This feels like it's business, like health/business related. I still feel like your business is in some way related to healthcare or something like that. Somehow there's some kind of business component or transaction. There's some kind of transaction component here. So I feel like going forward now, you're going to allow yourself to feel the satisfaction and the pride and the joy and, you know, and then you're going to have to get back to work. You're going to have to continue to make these deals, make these agreements, make these transactions. Okay, it could be that this Two of Pentacles that we saw, this kind of the switches, the on and off, the turning things over, was maybe some kind of transactions. The flipping those switches are things changing hands. So I feel like there's a lot of like business that still needs to be done. Now that you've had this achievement, you've made this thing, there's still a lot of transactions that need to be done. I don't know what that is. I'm very curious where all of this kind of comes together. Yeah, I don't know. I see things changing hands, but that could just be symbolic. You know, it could still be something that's taking place on an inner level or a health and wellness kind of level where there are some kind of transactions now, some kind of exchange happening now. that is the result of this achievement. So it's kind of the way the work needs to go in the future. Okay. The next card that we see is interesting. 3 of Swords here. I wonder if this whole achievement now isn't bringing your thoughts back to this time in your life where we had this serious illness, chronic illness. I feel like the one reason why you don't want too much of these emotions in there, you don't want to allow yourself to feel too much, is because you might start getting a little nostalgic and you might actually be brought to tears over it, you know? This is a card that kind of, it likes to revisit the past. Even with these joyful emotions, with this pride and satisfaction and these good feelings of joy and celebration, you might start reminiscing about childhood, about your young adulthood, when we had this serious illness, chronic illness, and it might bring up some difficult emotions, and that's why you tend to not let emotions in, because you don't want to be brought back to that emotional time, you know, or the memory of that time in your life to bring back these emotions. But I think it's a good thing. I think, you know, I'm not telling you what to do. You don't have to. But I think it would be good for you to let these emotions in and to see how far you've come, to see how much you've grown and evolved and how much of your own power you've come into, how strong you are now compared to where you started, you know? Final card on the Path of the Serpent is Strength. The 9 of Wands, this is you really understanding where you come from. This is you comparing yourself now to where you were back then and seeing your progress and being even more fulfilled, more confident, and more proud of yourself for what you have overcome. You have an intense strength about you that comes from within. It's this inner resolve. It's like a heart that just won't quit. And I think it's because you have a real connection between your external reality and your internal reality, between your head and your heart, between your conscious and unconscious, and between your personality, your soul, and the spirit. Okay, you can look at this on any level you want. You have a real connection to something mysterious that gives you tremendous power. Okay, call it God, goddess, deity, universal mind, universal energy. Call it spirit. Call it just your own vitality, your higher self, true self. Don't call it anything. It just is. It's pure being, pure consciousness, pure love and light. But it gives you strength, and you have something in you that you tap into, maybe even unconsciously. Something that you tap into that brings us to this Emperor energy where you can concentrate a year's worth of effort into just like a month or two. And that's something to celebrate. So it really feels like not only are you celebrating this particular accomplishment, but you're celebrating your entire life story, you know? So maybe it is a birthday celebration. Could be. But I think you have this real strength about you. Let's look at this mystery card now, shall we? I'm not going to speculate on what this is. You know, I kind of think Empress, but let's see. Chariot. So with the Chariot, I wonder if this thing that's going on, this accomplishment, this achievement is in some way related to travel, possibly. It could be that a lot of these flipping these switches, a lot of these transactions could be related to travel in some way. It could be that this kind of commerce, this new whatever is going on, is going to require you to travel for it. Do maybe a lot of traveling. More than that, I think that this suit of armor that the charioteer wears, inside this suit of armor, I think, is this Emperor. Okay, I think that you are intensely adaptable. I think you are someone who has prepared for this. You make it look so easy, right? This chariot looks like it's never seen battle, right? It's just shiny and new. It looks like it's just on display, like it's just a display, right? Just a model of a chariot and charioteer, because you make it look so easy. You make it look so easy. But in this chariot, in this card, is so much preparation. So much strength, so much planning, so much adaptability and readiness for everything, you know, and it all happens internally for you. On the outside, you're reserved, stoic, you make it look easy. But inside there's tremendous activity going on. And it could, like I said, it could be related to travel. But I think this is your preparedness, this is your adaptability, and this is kind of just another representation of how you take that year's worth of activity and just kind of cram it into like 1 or 2 months, you know. It seems that way from the outside. It seems easy from the outside, but there was a long time of planning, a lot of preparation behind the scenes that people aren't aware of. And maybe you like it that way. You want people to just kind of see what you show them. They don't need to know all the details behind the curtain, behind the scenes, right? They don't need to see how the sausage is made. They just want to, you know, they're going to get what you serve them. I think that's part of your style, and I like it. I like that a lot. We're going to take a look at the extended Pisces. If you want to stick around, click on the link right there. You can have access to all of the extended readings. This was your tarot reading for February 5th through 11th on Dove and Serpent Tarot.